Today on Mindscope, we are looking at what your child needs to know about menstrual hygiene. World Menstrual Hygiene Day was Saturday, that's the 29th of May, and is actually a global platform that brings together non-profits, government agencies, individuals, and the media, and it's all about advocating action towards a world where women and girls are no longer limited because of their periods. We are talking about the significance of raising awareness on the importance of good menstrual hygiene management. So what we are looking at today is, what are those things very essential that your child needs to know about menstruation? And this episode is not limited to women and girls. Men, your attention is needed. All right, and it's actually helpful even for the boys. And so to discuss this very important topic, we have with us someone, a beautiful young woman I would describe as a forthright personality. There's something about her she exudes, and I tell you, that is wisdom. It's so great to have you again on Mindscope. Helen Oladele, you're welcome on Mindscope.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, you know, everywhere is cool and calm.
Always a very, very happy time for me to be here all the time. I'm grateful. And the last time I was there was your brother's wife's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes, the same brother, I think.
Yes. That's his wife.
Yes.
Wow, that's wonderful.
So
and
thank you
Helen,
for
I must
having
say
me.
that you're beaming with unpretentious smile. What's the secret of the smile?
God.
You, yeah, we know. Go ahead. And then thank you to Mr. Oladele.
Oh,
Yes,
all right. Thank you,
yes.
Mr. Oladele.
Yes, you
I'm
need
sure
to
he's
appreciate.
listening.
He's listening. Yeah, we need to appreciate the men, you know. So, Ellen, we are talking about what every child needs to know about menstrual hygiene. We're talking about menstruation.
Yes.
You know, I've spoken with quite a few men before coming into the studio, and I realized that many of them were actually surprised. Menstruation on radio. I said, yes, that's the more reason you need to listen. Some of them are telling me, okay, yes, just get me the recording. I'll try and listen if I can. Just send me the recording. I'm going to send it to my girl child. But I actually try to explain to them, you also need to open up to your boy child. Your boy child also needs to listen. And so let's start from our own experiences. I remember I started menstruation at the age of 12. And for me, my feeling, it was quite a mixed feeling. In the sense that, okay, my mom, she initiated the conversation a few years before 12. And then she bought me some books that talked about the form of a woman, how the body of a girl changes over time, you know, into teenagehood. And so the very day I felt that sharp sensation down my abdomen, and I rushed to my mom. I saw the blood stain. She just put me together, clean up. She told me how to put the sanitary pad and all that. But the mixed feelings came from the fact that I felt, well, maybe my parents now, they're going to be overly protective of me, knowing fully well that I've started menstruation. And then the other side, I felt delighted. On the other hand, thinking, okay, yes, now I'm becoming a woman. So one day I'm going to have my own family. You know, that was where that, you know, pleasant feeling came from. Let's talk about your own experience, Helen. How was it?
All right. My own experience was quite different from yours because there was no conversation between my mom and I before the day. The more that I knew then was the discussion I had with classmates, friends in school, and all that. We don't menstruate, you not be able to have children, and all that. So when it started out of the home. I actually went to my uncle's place to spend the holiday, and it started there. So by the time I got home, I called my mom and I told her, and the next thing, if any boy should touch you, you'll be pregnant. So stay away from boys. That was all that I knew about the conversation, because you know, when it comes to sexuality education, menstruation, vagina, blood, penis, we are no, is it taboo? We don't talk about those things. So there was no conversation apart from if anybody should touch you, you'll be pregnant.
Let's listen to Olabisi. Olabisi, your experience.
My own was, it happened in a day. I don't know what I was doing. I was playing, running around the whole house for all I care, just having fun. And then my mommy came back and said, "What's that at the back of your dress?" I remember. I think it was a black and white dress. And then my mommy said, "Are you ignorant?" I said, "I don't know." I checked. And she said, "Oh, did you know you just started having your period?" I said, "Really?" I said, "Okay." And the next thing she said, "Congratulations."
Wow.
That's what she said.
That's wonderful. Awesome. So let's talk about the taboos, Ellen.
All right.
Surrounding menstruation.
I want to define menstruation.
Oh, yes. Don't let's assume everybody knows. Okay.
Because from that definition, it will enlighten us to know that this thing is not a big deal. It is a normal, natural, healthy part of the female reproductive system. It is normal, it is natural, it is healthy. It's not something that is a dirty act or something that is a big deal. No,
doesn't
when a woman is
dirty.
No, it doesn't make you dirty. It is normal, natural. Nobody has control over it. It is something that have to happen because as it is, you don't choose where you are born, you don't choose your gender. So the same way, a menstruation will come to you as a woman. It will happen. It is a normal, natural, biological process. So it is not something that anybody should look down on, anybody or anyone should feel intimidated or marginalized because she's menstruating. So now talking about the taboos, especially for in rural areas, women are seen like dirty, even aided by religion. There's some churches today that you are not allowed to enter into the worship center when you are menstruating. Yes, and after your menstruation, you have to go for cleansing. Now, so women are seen as dirty, and it is even recorded that in some community where they do they go to the stream to fetch water, women are not allowed to bathe at that time because they think they will contaminate the water. So they set them aside for that period of that menstruation. And you know that this blood is coming out everywhere. It's messed up. No time to bathe, no time to wash up and all that. And it has been recorded, a report carried out by BBC magazine in India. 70% of reproductive health diseases in India is traced to poor menstrual hygiene. Because these women, they are marginalized, they are not allowed to wash up, they are not allowed to mingle with other people, they are isolated from people, so to speak, because they are menstruating. This thing is normal, it is healthy, it is not something that anybody should be castigated about, marginalized about. No, it is normal. We should see it as normal thing. And as much as we are teaching our daughters, we should teach our sons too.
Very true.
Because parents like myself, you guys are very lucky. You are in conversation with your parents. And the same thing I have done with my daughters before the day. Have this conversation with your daughters before the day. Not even when. Don't wait till the child even start menstruating. Have the conversation. See every likely places that this thing is likely to occur. Maybe inside the house or maybe any possible places that your child visits. Maybe, okay, if you start in the school, what should you do? When you go to your uncle, so if you start watching, all this conversation you must have with your daughters when it starts, before it starts.
I'm thinking, Ellen,
yes,
that for some parents, the challenge could be how, for instance, think of an 8-year-old girl, such, a young girl. And right nowadays, even some of them have started menstruating. So for a parent, they might find it very difficult, or they don't know how to communicate with such a child. So what do you think such parents should do?
That is one of the things we are...
someone so early.
Okay, that is one of the things we are seeing now.
Okay.
Menstruation is normal.
Okay.
Because it is when you are saying it as a big deal. That's when you are saying, I don't know how to go about it. In this part of the world, we give penis, vagina, we give them different names, color, all sorts of names because we don't want to. It is normal. It is just like head. You don't give your head another name. So why would you give your private part, your penis, your vagina, another name? Do you understand? So parents need to see these things. This conversation is very, very normal conversation because it's the meaning you attach to a thing that define how you express that thing. So when you already know that this is a normal conversation, it's very, very easy for you because mindset too is very, very important. Because most of us those have this conversation with our parents is limiting us. But this is the new age, and there's a new puberty. It starts from 8 years. In those days, it was like until you are 12. But
13.
These days, 8 years. So from 7 from 7 years, we'll start to have this conversation with your children, especially mothers. Fathers can do it. Mothers, you too, you're menstruating. They will see this thing. They see your part, you're like, no, don't worry. It's something. You don't want to tell the child. As soon as the child finds out, tell the child, this is what it is. You as a girl, you start. So then you begin to have this conversation with them. Prior the day they will even start their own. So it is when you already know that this is a normal, healthy conversation.
Okay.
It won't be difficult for you to have.
As a teens counselor and an intentional parenting advocate, you have some experiences. There was one you discussed prior to the session. Yes. About a child who started a menstruation in school.
Yes.
Can you share
All right.
that?
She said she went to the restroom to use herself and she just discovered blood coming out. And the next thing she started screaming, crying, I'm bleeding. I don't know what happened. I'm bleeding. It's like I want to die and all that. So she has to run to her class and everybody in her class gets to know what happened. Even some people some of the students that already know what was happening was trying to even calm her and that, no, relax, it's menstruation. She said, no, you don't know what you are saying. Have you done it? Have you done your own? CEO, I'm dying, I don't know. So they have to go to the class teacher and everybody, practically everybody in the school got to know that this girl started her period that day and she was crying all over the place and all that. So our children don't have to go through this humiliation because of, so imagine a mother that's not even had this conversation with her child. So it means that the myth she has not even had the conversation because there are so many myths surrounding these things.
Let's talk about another one.
These teenagers, they used to lure their friends, their fellows to premarital sex. They tell you that if you're having cramps, then you need to start having sex. It means that you need to start having sex. If you don't have sex, it won't go. It will even get worse. Those are the things that these teenagers tell their friends. If you burn your pad, if you burn it, it means that you'll not be able to have children later in life. And there's nothing like that. Do you understand? So all these things that these children used to put their friends in some kind of cage because parents are lagging behind in their responsibilities. Wow. You hear things like if you want a very clear skin all through your life, you need to wash your menstrual blood with your face. Wash your face with your menstrual blood. They tell their friends yes. They tell them. So this thing, the danger of us parents not giving our children the right information is allowing your children to go the other way because they will go to their peers who don't know more than them.
So they seek information from external sources.
See, there was a school, a boarding house that by JSS2, if you're still a virgin, they will lock you up in a toilet with a boy and the girls will be outside the toilet. Yes, they'll be outside the toilet waiting and by the time you come out to show them the blood, they'll share you up. You must do it. If you don't do it at that stage, then it means that no man wants to marry a virgin. You won't enjoy sex later in life. And they made it like something like a ritual for all of them. Once you ingest like this, they have to set you up with the boy and do it in the toilet.
But what do you think?
So it's because parents,
what are those things we need to do? Or
parents need to be intentional. Begin with the end in mind. Okay, this is where I'm going. This is what I want to happen to my child. Then how do I get to this destination? You understand? When you already master, this is where I'm going. How do I get there? You can't get to Ibadan with Lagos map. Do you understand? So you need to know what are the things. Like what I do with my own daughters was, we have the conversation and we even do role play. If you are in your uncle's house, it's happened, maybe his wife is not there. Hello, uncle, can I talk to my mom? Hello, mom, code red. Or something, I will know, yes, it has happened. I will either call my brother or something, or I'll just come and meet. So anyhow, anything that I need to do, you understand? So
yes.
We already have this. She was so the day it even started, she had even taken care of herself and everything before I even got to know about it. She was like, Mom, it's done. So fantastic. So nothing. So there was no fuse about it at all because you're already giving them the right information.
So protect your child
with empower them. This skill,
true empowerment.
Yes, true empowerment. Okay. Give them the skill that will empower them.
Give them the right information.
Skill. Yes.
And we are actually thinking that even the parents, they know the right things about menstruation, but it will amaze you. It will shock you that not all parents even know what to do. Some girls have even started menstruation. And even for some women, they don't even understand what menstrual hygiene is about. Can you share that with us?
Menstrual hygiene basically is the general hygienic practices you do during menstruation to prevent reproductive and urinary tract infections. All the general practices, everything you do when you are menstruating, because the accumulate leaving the blood in your private part for a long time can result into that, can increase your risk of being infected due to the anatomy of the female genitals, the anus, the vagina, everything very close together. So it could lead to a very serious infection, and if not treated on time, can even affect a woman's reproductive organs.
And a woman who doesn't wash often,
yes,
bad odor, and
yes, and these hygienic practices include access to materials to absorb or collect the blood during menstruation. Then access to soap and water, clean soap and water. Don't be surprised, especially women in rural areas. Access, so this the hygiene. Then access to facility to even dispose these materials.
Some don't know how to dispose
properly. Just take your sanitary napkin, wrap it in a nylon, then dispose in your waste bag or waste bin or whatever. You don't need to burn it.
I remember then schools, hostels, you find them flushing.
No, you don't flush it. You don't flush. You don't need to, because it will block the toilets and all that. So just wrap it in a nylon, dispose it like that. If you want to burn, fine, but no need to burn, because some people say if you burn, you will not be able to have change. There's nothing like that. If you decide to burn it, fine. If not, just wrap it and dispose it, and ensure that you don't use your sanitary napkin for a longer period of time. Maximum time should be 6 hours. Maximum time, whether you are having light or heavy flow, 6 hours, dispose. Between 4 to 6 hours, dispose it. You don't need to keep it for that period of time. Then another thing that hygiene you need to maintain is to keep to a product, because there's so many products in the market.
True.
You buy one this month, another month you're buying another one. If there's even any challenge, because there was a time that there was news all over the place that there's one particular sanitary pad that was giving people
that.
So if you don't even stick to one product, you will not be able to track the track it over time, whether it's this one that's even giving me rashes or even not okay for me and all that. So when you stick to one, it will help you to take record of the happenings during that time, so that you know whether to change it or not.
Wow, this is amazing. Thank you. Looking at menstruation cramps now, let's talk about that. We were talking about how women should be empowered with the right information, so they will not be limited at the place of work, school, or whatever we need to do. So, for those who experience the cramps, what do you think is?
All right, during that time, exercise is very good. Then massaging the tummy, the back, and the thighs goes a long way to help. Then warm water. Warm water. Just put a towel, put warm water, place it on the abdomen, or you can use it just to massage the thighs as well, because there's this burning sensation you feel down there. So the warm water, this thing will really, really help. Then again, reduce salt and sugar intake, especially at that period, as much as possible.
Even for the younger ones.
Yes, for the younger ones, because my sister now, and then she take Pepsi prior to her period. Everybody in the house, we know that something is happening that month. So reduce carbonated drinks as much as possible. Do a lot of fruits, drink a lot of waters, and then there are some over-the-counter pain relieving drugs you can buy to alleviate the pain. So don't allow anyone, especially for our children, let them know you don't need to have access to reduce cramp. There is nothing like that.
This is powerful. Olabisi.
Okay, my own opinion is that even at schools, teachers, I think schools should be equipped with having sanitary towels to give out for free, sometimes pain relievers, some particular drugs, and remember then that you take when you're having cramps. And then they should be excused. Sometimes, these girls are going through cramps and then they are shy to say, especially if it's a mixed school. Teachers should understand and make the child feel comfortable with what they're going through is a normal phenomenon, and there's nothing wrong with you.
What do you think
Yes,
about that?
very, very,
Ellen?
yes.
Because I know in some countries they give out sanitary towels free. It should be given out
Yes,
free.
yes, that's very, very valid, especially schools. Very, very important. Take, for instance, the girl that it's happened to that day in school. So they have to make provision for her in the school. So these things, children, this should know. Schools should make adequate. At least there is no school doesn't have their mini hospital or sick bay or something.
Yes,
So pass. All these toilets should be something handy all the time so that it can be accessible to the students, and especially when they're having cramps as well, they should be excused from the classes, and there should be no type of stigmatization or looking at now that you are menstruating, maybe you know these things. No teachers do it. I'm saying it's crazy the way we adults behave to these children. We are not being fair at all. You see an innocent child menstruating, she doesn't ask for it, and the next thing you are looking, this one you are menstruating, you are having stomach pain. Okay, you know the way, and the girl and the child is feeling something. The next time she won't come.
That's true.
So with all these things, we need to really
Can
take
we look at the part of emotional instability? There are for some women, when they're having their periods, emotionally they're easily irritable and all that. So what do you suggest?
I think because of the hormones at that period of time, the hormone changes and all that, and at times when you just put the pads down there, you just feel like, this thing is not comfy, especially days you have to go out, do a long walk and all that. It's not really comfy and you are irritated somehow. So these are the things that comes with it occasionally, but we just have to manage. This thing is for a period and it's good for me. You understand?
I love that.
Yes, it's good for me.
It is good for me because it is healthy.
If there is no menstruation, there won't be ovulation. And if there is no ovulation, there will be reproduction.
Okay. So you got to enjoy the process.
Yes.
That's true, because a time will also come that the menstruation will stop.
Yes.
And that's another season, another phase of life entirely.
Yes.
Now, I want you to talk. Just assume there's a girl child now right in front of you. Can you speak to that child concerned, maybe a girl child that just started her menstruation, and for one reason or the other, she's not been able to open up to the father or the mother? So I want you to just speak your words to such.
All right. So I will tell her that what you're going through now is normal, is healthy. Don't feel bad and don't feel strange for it. You're a normal child. It means that your body system is working perfectly well. You are going perfectly okay. So the next thing you need to take into cognizance is get the last date of your menstruation, so that you have an idea of the next time it will be starting. It doesn't meet you unaware.
So you can calculate your ovulation cycle.
Yes.
Okay.
So you know that you start probably on the 1st of this month. Know that getting close to the 1st of next month, get yourself ready. Anywhere you are going, maybe to school, put a pad in your bag.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, so get these things ready, prepare your mind. This thing is going to happen every month and for the rest of your life until you get to menopause, you have to deal with it. So that is it. Another thing is teaching the child how to wash. Each time you go to change your sanitary napkin, ensure you wash your hand before changing. And after changing, wash your hand as well. Wrap your the pad, the used pad, wrap it in the nylon and throw it away in the waste bag and wash your hand. Because menstruation is like any bodily fluid. Hepatitis can be transmitted through it. If you don't wash your hand properly and you get touch another person's food, handshake, body touch and all that, you could transmit disease really. So that is why, but because people don't have the details of this, they just assume that once you are menstruating, you are contaminating everyone. No, by the time you wash properly, all these things will have been avoided.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Helen Oladele. This is amazing.
Thank
and
you.
I bless you. And dear listener, I tell you, this is really what your child needs to know about menstrual hygiene. So speak to that girl child. Talk to her and make her confident. And I believe that all through, as we continue to empower our children with right information, they will grow up to be amazing adults, powerful. They're coming up to make Nigeria a stronger nation. And I want you to remember, the right attitude wins always. I am Segilola. Thank you also, Olabisi. God bless you.